I'm not sure the exact name of it, but I guess we're gonna call it the Oh No Wednesday League or something like that. I rarely get to get into this league, and I got the opportunity, which is amazing. The conditions are wet, which that was a bit meh. I didn't really. It's cold. I didn't really want to do it, but it turned out to be some amazing footage as you're about to see. So right now, just doing the practice run. For this league, we do 2 sessions. I think, at least for tonight, we did 2. As I hit the puddle and probably yelled into the helmet a little bit. But the first session that we do is going to be our practice / qualifier session. The second one that we do is going to be the actual race. Right now, I'm trying to find out how the track is feeling, what the line is, because when it's raining, you have to stay off the dry line, as the rubber that's left on the dry line that makes the dry line all nice and sticky. Once water touches it, the oil from the rubber comes out. So you have to get as close as you can to it, but you don't want to be on it because there's no grip. You have to switch up the line a little bit. Right now we're dealing with, I'm not exactly sure what his name is, so we're just going to call him the number 32 cart for this round. I'm trying to go around him. I don't want to do the inside because the inside there's no grip. The outside is optimal, and as I notice, they're trying to run the dry line. I noticed a lot of the guys out here tonight were running the dry line and weren't really going offline, which means battling is going to be a bit tricky, because if I come up on them, most of the time they're already setting up for the corner, so they're already going to have the line I want. But that pass is no problem. I hope he didn't think I pushed him. That's just the line that we run, and he probably thought I pushed him a little bit, but probably no worries. Nothing was said after the session. Now on to focusing to trying to get a clean lap and show what I'm actually trying to do. So now, as I said earlier, just trying to avoid the rubber. So coming down into T1, what I tend to use, I don't really use references, but this time I use the start finish as a braking reference and try to turn as late as I can into the corner. The rear end is going to get a little bit slippery. So for 3 and 4, hitting those curbs is the easiest way to go around it, but it's not always possible sometimes. I don't have all that experience in the wet. For 5, you're braking way before the bump. You're probably braking around when it starts to do that little kink. For 6, I could have went a bit wider, I'm sure, but I was in the middle of the track and just kind of running to the outside of it, which whenever I get to the outside like that, of course, that's the exit on the dry, and it's slippery. For 7, you just want to run it all the way wide and try to cut in. For 8 right here, still running it wide. For 9, just almost, if there was a crowd there, make it look like you're trying to hit the crowd, I guess. You're really trying to go wide. For this little straight, I tend to weave off into the middle because the exit at the end of the track right there tends to pool up with water. So just trying to avoid getting wet. I don't have a wetsuit on or nothing like that, so having all that splashing isn't all that fun. For 13, yet again trying to make it look like you're hitting a crowd. For 11 and 12, that's a very tricky corner. You either try to go as wide as you can or kind of run it a little bit shallow. I don't have enough experience to really fully give an answer, but really you're just trying to make 11, trying to make it clean for 12. As soon as you could figure out a way to clean up 11, you're pretty much straight through 12 and 13. As he goes off track right there, I go ahead and move past him, which is pretty easy, nice and clean, the way that we like it. Now just looking around, really still trying to test out a couple lines, but nothing really too major. This cart that I was driving, I had to use the foot pedal. I had to pull it back because there's a little sensor in these carts, and hitting the brake and gas, it doesn't work. So what you have to do sometimes when the sensor is a little trippy is you have to pull the brake back. So if you notice my left foot popping up every now and then, that's what's going on. As I passed Candy/Candace, she spun there. I kind of felt bad for that. I wasn't trying to make it scare her or nothing like that. She's getting into karting and stuff like that, and I gave her some tips. So did Diego, and that was pretty cool. I think this is where I had that little slip up in the 13 when my foot slipped off the brake, and I almost went clean into the barrier. I'm sure I see something in the helmet. Right now, I see the flag waving, so that means that it's about time for us to come in. Not too much really going on in practice, just, learning the lines and stuff of what you can do, what you can't do, little stuff like that, wherever it's more dry. I can see through this video that I shouldn't be looking at the apex as much as I do. I need to be looking more in front of me at the track for when it's wet. So that is something that I have to work on the next time that I go out there to keep that in mind. But yeah, now we just start heading on to the race, do a little sliding if you want, since the pit isn't by the start straight like how most other tracks are. Kart tracks tend to have pits a little off from where the finish is, so you get a little time to mess around as you're coming into the pits, just the slightest bit. But now as I come in, I start focusing on what I'm going to try to do for the race. How are we going to go about it? One thing that I know is that I am, not to sound cocky, I am the fastest of the group, and I want to make it more fair. I don't want to just go out there. These guys actually are running like a dope championship, and I don't want to go out there and just completely win. So I try to handicap myself as much as I can. So for this race, we agreed that I will be starting in the back. I think I swapped out my pole position for somebody else. I'm not too sure, but right now, I guess heating up the tires. I'm not sure why I did that. But now we're just going out on track. Now it's wetter. The rain, while we were conversing about what was going on, what we were planning to do, the rain was getting heavier. So now everything is less grip, which means the racing line that these guys are going to be using, but you will see them trying to stay on the dry line, is going to be worse. Right here, kind of doing a little racing before we even drop the flag, realizing, oh yeah, I'm last. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess just having a little fun. Why not? Diego right there. I don't know. We played Halo later. I mean, have a funny name. There goes Candy. And two others I can't quite see because we're recording box. I'm not sure if Omi. I think Omi was one of those guys. I'm not too sure. But now we're trying to grid up. I'm trying to figure out how much people we have, where I could actually grid, because I don't, preferably if I can, I want to be in my own row if I can get to that. So I'm just trying to figure that out. I see a spot and I'm going to go ahead and select it as we pull up to the left, as we basically pull up besides Candy. Let's go get in the grid, ready, pushing around some carts and such. And we slot into place, and we get ready to start. My engine was kind of dying out, so I had to play with the throttle a little bit to keep it running, because nothing worse than having your engine stall on the start. Although that probably would have been a bit more fair in terms of handicapping. So now we're off, and I'm doing a little, I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. And then I realized that I gotta watch out for what's gonna go into T1. Starting back like this is pretty advantageous, but you also have to watch out for what's going on. As I go pretty aggressive, realizing that the inside, those guys are going too slow, I was able to take up 2 positions. I was on the brakes, but I still hit that guy. This guy spins, and I didn't expect it in the slightest, but it kind of helped me out because I was going to go there anyway, but that's also why I panicked. I think that's Omi right there, as we're about to set up a little move right here to get to him, and we are just as clean as that. that inside line, man, it just makes you just run completely off of it and just fly off in the middle of the corner. As you make up huge ground coming through 7. I believe we're gonna set up for a pass down the straight, and coming close to it. Can't happen. So we're probably gonna have to do it at the exit of the next corner, or at the apex of this corner. As he kicks the rear out, I think that another spin's gonna happen. A little panic right there, but nothing too big. Hopping over those yellow curbs a little bit. Completely missing 11, but we made up for 12, which is good. Coming into the corner down the straight, trying to get the best exit you can. Now, of course, in the wet, these karts, in the dry, they have all the traction you need back there, but in the wet, on these slick tires, it just spins me, just trying to manage that drift. We go ahead and pass them down the straight like it's no issue. Hit those brakes, trying to make sure no dive bomb, nobody blocked up brakes and panicked. And now we're heading down to 3 and 4. Hit that curb, just set us up for there. There you go, no issue. Almost like we just ran in the dry, and braking at the kink way before the bump. Just running her wide, trying to get that wheel to scrub. Usually you'll hear the wheel start to squeal a little bit, or kind of wail and moan in the wet. That's what you're looking for. That's when that inside wheel is starting to grip up. 65, he doesn't see me. I was hoping to kind of push him over, but he didn't see me at all. But we still made the pass. We sweep around the exit, the outside, my bad. And I don't know where he is at this point. He's completely gone. As we focus on trying to get 8 right. There we go, nice and decent. We hit that curve that we needed to hit. And then we go through 9, and I realize Diego is next. So, first place right there, Mr. Diego himself. OHNOSPEEDY, I believe the name is. Now I'm just trying to catch him. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to catch him and do so. Not really focused on battling yet, just more so on catching. Now I know that I'm faster as he messes up and goes real wide, and I believe hits the wall. That's also a bit more confidence, knowing that the opponent in front of you is struggling a little bit makes you kind of calm down. But I know that I'm faster, and I have to keep in mind not to change or be more aggressive now. I'm already doing what I need to do. We have plenty of time in this race. It's not the final lap. No need to try to dive bomb and brake as late as I possibly can in conditions such as this, especially when I don't have wet tires. So just trying to keep calm in my head, even though it's something that we're just playing around with. This is great practice for actual races and such. Hit that curve as we need to hit, run it nice and wide, plenty of grip out there compared to the line. Those inside tires, I didn't realize it. The camera is actually a lot brighter than underneath my helmet. I didn't realize how much spray those tires kick up once they turn. You're literally just getting watered down with them. Inside my visor, I could barely see. It was fogging up. There was rain everywhere. So this is actually a lot better view. I could actually see the rain droplets and such. However, we closed the gap quite significantly. So we're within striking distance now. So now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get past them as we come down the straight. And the job almost did itself for me. Now all he has to do is practically sneeze and I'm past him. And he knows this as he sees me, runs a little wide, starts doing a little bit of rallycross, thumbs up to make sure he's okay. Yep, he's perfectly fine, no spinning or nothing. The man's got talent. Sends it down the inside, Max Verstappen style, just running a bit wide. Trust me, man, if you're on those curbs, and again, this is when I realize, okay, they're running the inside line, they're running the dry line. Makes it so much easier for me to figure out what to do. I'm trying to hold him out, He notices me, so I'm trying to hold him wide, keep him on that dry line for him. And he didn't quite get that curb, sadly. There he goes, he appears. I have no idea how he did this, but he manages to sweep over, which would be an amazing move in the dry. I'm not going to lie to you. We go ahead and take it, trying to stay out of the puddles and such, move over to increase the braking. Now, it's always been interesting because the dry line has, no grip, but when it comes to braking on the dry line, I don't notice a change that's as drastic as turning in. Right here, I upset the cart, full lock left, just trying to make sure she doesn't spin on me. Adrenaline definitely shot up right there. That was absolutely wild. As Diego spins, now literally all I have to do is make sure that I don't mess up. That is my only task, my only goal. The only person right now that I have to worry about has spun, made a mistake, and now we're just dealing with traffic. And just like that, it's no issue. You know, we're through, and now we're just trying to keep our head down, make sure that we don't do anything stupid. That's the only task right now. As we head into 7, I'm getting more confident, as you can see, a little bit more speed and such. However, with that speed, my turning point, I completely messed that up. I'm on the dry line, and that's the one thing I didn't have to do. The one thing, and there goes the one guy who can beat me right now. I just let him by. So now it's a little bit of a bit more needing to go quick. It's almost like the camera knew the amount of drama that's happening right now with the shaking that I notice is a little bit different. And we have traffic in front of us, which is great. That'll slow him down. However, he's a good gap ahead. And we're coming close to the end of this race, so try not to think about things like that, but it is pretty difficult to do so. However, I know that if anything, it's going to come down to the last lap, so I'm really just trying to ensure that I learn how to take 7 better and just keep on pushing and try to get as close to him, put as much pressure on him as I possibly can. However, I made a little error, didn't hit both of those curves. That's not the best help, but it's okay. As we notice, Candy, so now we have 2 people. That is a bit of traffic, and oh my goodness, that is the best possible thing that could happen. However, that was insanely fast. Now, keep in mind, my visor's dark, it's fogged up, and there's rain droplets. I can barely see. I didn't see what happened until he was practically right in front of me, and I whipped my wheel across. Candy's right here, not trying to be too aggressive on her and scare her. There we go, right through the outside, no problem, no issue. And now, my opponent is very well behind me. There's no pressure anymore. I have no idea where anybody else is besides the guy in front of me and Candy behind me. We are all good. You know, we just gotta make it to the end. You know, don't do anything stupid, which, you know, I'm sure under my helmet I'm way more calm. I noticed that guy was wall riding. That's probably the best line you can take in the wet in these karts, so kudos to him. As we have one guy spin, another guy spin, but it doesn't really affect us at all. I see those yellow lights, which means that checker flag is that I'm trying to find the flagman. I found him, pointed him out. Yes sir, and we take the P1 win. Trying to celebrate, and really I was trying to slide it sideways, but spinning, you know, that worked too, I guess. And that was a freaking awesome race, man. Racing in the wet, I used to not like it, but I'm getting more accustomed to it, more and more to liking it, and that was just amazing, man. Thank you to Diego and everybody in the OHNO clan, I guess you could say, OHNO group that hosts this event. Hopefully I could come out more and have more fun. I really appreciate it with you guys. Let me race with you guys and have epic battles such as this. Till next time, this is Midnight 912.
What a great battle!
Awesome, bro. Oh my god!